Malaysia, a motorcyclist paradise with winding roads, a huge sense of freedom, and new sights everywhere you look. A country with one foot in the future and the other rooted firmly in history and tradition. It's a jewel in Southeast Asia. This week, I explore the heritage city of Penang and get crazy in the jungle with some extreme 4x4. I'm Jaime Dempsey, and I spent a lot of my life working behind the bar in one of the world's hippest cities, Los Angeles. But when the night's over and the sun comes up, I seek adventure of a completely different kind. From the east coast of Malaysia, it's time to head across the country to the west and the famous island of Penang. Hard riding my way through some spectacular countryside, it feels like perfect biking country. I'm riding through the highlands on my way to Penang, and it's just stunning. The scenery is so beautiful. This is why I'm riding a bike, just to take it all in. I can practically see all the way to Thailand from here. Stunning. It was a great ride, but 4 hours in the saddle is plenty enough for me, so I was more than happy to reach my destination. Penang is often known as the Pearl of the Orient. Its capital, Georgetown, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it was named after Britain's King George III. Georgetown is the second largest city in Malaysia, topping almost 750,000 people. But despite its size, it's actually very user-friendly for the visitor. It's amazing what you find on the streets of Penang. I came across this neat little bike place where you could rent a bicycle for just 10 ringgits for the whole day. So I'm trading in the Harley for something a little slower because I plan on making a lot of stops. Georgetown combines commerce, arts, and coffee in abundance. It's a unique blend that makes for a very chilled atmosphere. As I ride around this city, I feel like Georgetown is taking a deliberate stand against technology, and family history reigns supreme.
Very beautiful. How much?
8 ringgit.
8 ringgit?
Yeah.
I think I have this.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Yeah.
After a couple of hours exploring the city streets on a bicycle, I was starting to overheat. Time for some cake, coffee, and aircon. Penang has seen a boom in architectural renovation in recent years. Even this vintage cake shop, formerly 2 old shop houses, has been refurbished into a massive area with galleries, art, food, and even a bar. It was great to finally sit down, and even better to connect with a friend of mine back home. Hey Laura, how's it going there? Yeah, I'm great. I finally made it to Penang, sitting in air conditioning, which is great, having coffee, cake. 25 kilometers from the city of Georgetown, Penang has some amazing beaches. The relaxing Batu Feringghi beach in particular is famous for its white sands and clear seas. But there's also plenty to do for the more energetic. While I've been giving the Harley a rest, I've had a great time experiencing Penang's old world charm and artsy cool vibe. But there's also some action down at the beach, so now I think it's time to cut loose with some water sports. You can head for the water or take to the skies. I know exactly where I'm heading. I'm gonna make sure I don't fall out into the water.
Who knows if you're bad luck?
Woo! Off I go! Wow, look at the view up here.
I was more used to having two wheels firmly attached to a road. So I was a little nervous as I soared high over everyone and everything. But that soon passed.
I could take a nap even. Woohoo! It's a good thing I don't get seasick.
Gazing at the hills in the distance makes me realize how far I've actually ridden and how far I still have to go. I think I'll just enjoy the moment.
And now my ride is almost over. It's time to head back to the beach. Let's hope I got those instructions right. Red means stop. Ah! And down.
Hey,
Woo!
you got a good landing.
I'm like a professional.
Although I was tempted to just chill with the sunbathers, I still had an itch for action. So I set about looking for something where I'd have a little more control.
From motorbikes on the road to motorbikes in the water, I aim to see Penang from every angle.
Jet skis are now seen on almost every beach around the world, and I've been plowing the waters since 1972. They are, in every sense, bikes for the ocean, and were actually created by the famous motorcycle company Kawasaki. In the right hands, they can reach up to 60 miles per hour, but not in mine.
I like riding the Harley, but that was fun.
I say goodbye to my water playground at Batu Feringghi and head back into town. It's time to find a place to park up for the night.
When looking for a place to stay in Penang, I found these great Bantan shophouse residences called the Straits Collection. Look at these great old school doors.
It's almost hard to find a place that has not been refurbished in Georgetown, and Bantan is no exception. Before it became a heritage hotel, it served as a home to the British colonial officers and local administrators. As well as all things a modern traveler would need, these hotels certainly create an aura of nostalgia.
This place is one more thing to add to the list of things I love about Penang. I've got 2 stories all to myself, a living room, a kitchen. I think I could get lost in this place. This is way better than a hotel room.
With every detail designed to complement each other, the whole atmosphere of the place was sophisticated and very chilled.
Wow, look at these stairs. It's so cool. It's almost like a tree house. Whoa, this room's beautiful. I think it's a great fusion of old and new, and it's the perfect place to kick off my boots and say goodnight before I continue my journey tomorrow. All right, get out of here, go.
Coming up, I continue my heritage tour with a visit to the famous Blue Mansion. And I get down and dirty in the jungle with some extreme 4x4. My morning's plan is to visit one of the most famous buildings on the island. Everyone who's spoken to me about it has called it magnificent and a must-see for anyone visiting Penang.
The Blue Mansion, also known as the Chung Fat Si Mansion after its founder, is a pre-war classic house with award-winning heritage. So I've come to see it for myself and find out a little bit more about the man behind it. See if I can get someone to give me a tour.
The mansion's construction began before the end of the 19th century, and Chung Fat Si had hoped initially to house 9 generations of his descendants here.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Can you show me around? Tell me a little bit about this place.
This mansion was built by a very successful man. He started with nothing. He was just a water carrier in Jakarta. He went from mini market to pepper plantations, rice, sugarcane, tea, coffee, rubber. When he was at the most successful time of his life, he was dubbed the Rockefeller of the East. See?
That's the man himself.
And then there's a picture of him here. In this picture, he looks like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, he's very Western in this
different,
one.
yeah? So adapt and change. The lovely lady there, that's wife number 7.
Lucky guy.
She's most favorite. Yeah? Whatever gold color that you're looking at, these are all 24 karat gold.
Ooh, very extravagant.
The tiles came from England.
Oh, so there's a lot of East and West
Yes.
again, so he embraced both worlds.
Yes.
This particular plot of land was chosen after heavy consultation between Chang Fat-si and the era's preeminent feng shui masters. Artisans were shipped in from southern China expressly for the project, and building materials were imported from as far away as Scotland.
In terms of Chinese architecture, feng shui is very important. So we have the center of the house here. This is where the Chinese, they believe the strongest source of energy is radiating out from here. So they built the house based on this section.
The house is based on a symmetrical system, and the open roof concept allows natural light into the house while allowing hot air to escape. When it rains, the water enters the courtyard and cools down the house. Simple and very effective. There are 2 unusual things about this house that the casual visitor would not notice. The first is in the design of these window shutters. They combine both the Chinese yin and the yang, the symbol for opposite and together, to make balance, and the number 8, a very lucky number in Chinese culture.
Okay, so we have 8 symbols. So if we have 8 pieces like this, we actually have the shutters.
Oh, that's so genius.
Open window and you close the window. Huh? Okay.
The other thing is a unique recycling concept that uses broken pieces of bowl to make decorative dragons on the roof, both now and back when it was first built.
The artisans carry the bowls up to the roof in baskets, and then they take a piece out, then take that piece. They have to shape it accordingly. If they need to make flowers, they have to shape petals. So they just grip at the side and go up and down to shape it. Once they have the correct shape, they put the lime putty and they press it in. So the first word in English is cut. The second word is paste. So this is Chinese version of cut and paste.
Jianyan.
Yes, this is.
The house was first opened to the public back in 2001 and has been renovated extensively. Daily tours, bed and breakfast, and private functions help to offset the running cost of this beautiful old building. There are 38 rooms to maintain, spread over 58,000 square feet. I spent some time just wandering around, soaking up the atmosphere, and enjoying the relaxed old school vibe. Imagine what it must have been like living here back in the day. Food in Malaysia really is a way of life, and no more so than in Penang. I've been here for a while and still not tried any of the famous local food that I've read about. So it's time to head to the streets. Long regarded as the food capital of Malaysia, Penang not only enticed me with its heritage, but also its delicious cuisine. Now, I've sampled local delicacies in every state so far, so when I heard CNN voted the Asam Laksa here 7th best in the world, I decided I had to try it. Asam Laksa is a spicy but sour noodle soup, with tamarind as its key soup ingredient. People come here from all around Malaysia for exactly this, Penang Asam Laksa. Oh my god, that's delicious. You can see how popular it is. I was lucky to get this table. That's pretty spicy, so I'm gonna wash it down with some chendol.
Nanti lu orang satu-satu mari sini tanya nama.
Ugh, that cools my mouth off. Coming up, I head south to Ipoh for a crazy rumble in the jungle in this extreme 4x4. It's a crazy way to get closer to nature, but I want to see the jungle from a new perspective. Oh, that was Georgetown and Penang are simply overwhelming in terms of history, culture, and tradition, all ingrained into daily life, from the buildings to the food. I would love to stay longer, but the journey must go on.
Well, I've had a fantastic time exploring Penang, but it's only the beginning of my west side adventure. It's time to turn south and head to Ipoh. But first, since I'm on an island, I get to cross Penang Bridge, the longest bridge in Malaysia.
Penang Bridge was opened in 1985 and has a total length of 13.5 kilometers, making it the longest bridge in Malaysia and the 4th longest in Southeast Asia.
Before leaving Penang, I couldn't resist stopping to pick up something to commemorate my trip. And what would be better than a Harley Davidson and Penang shirt? Wow, now this. Have I mentioned I like sparkles?
For many bikers worldwide, there really is nothing to compare to a Harley Davidson. For non-bikers, I would say they are the Bentley or the Rolls-Royce of motorbikes. I love that about these old school machines, and hanging around the Harley store refired my pride at being a Harley rider.
I like it. What do you think?
And with that, I was off, heading south to Ipoh, the first major town in the state of Perak. Perak is known as the Silver State and has the Arabic name of Darul Rizwan, the abode of grace. It's the 2nd largest state in the country, and Ipoh is its capital city. During colonial days, Ipoh was Malaysia's 2nd city and had the nickname of Millionaire's City. Tin mining made thousands of people millionaires. But when the prices crashed, the state's economy collapsed, and it's taken a while for the state to get back on track. I've arranged to meet a guy called Marcus, and I was now quite lost somewhere between the highway and the meeting point in the jungle.
Hey Marcus, yeah, it's Jamie. Yeah, where are you leading me? This is the middle of nowhere. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I turned right instead of left. Okay, got it now. Yeah, thanks. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Following his instructions, I soon found myself on a dirt road heading towards dense jungle. I really was in the middle of nowhere.
So this guy Marcus told me he was going to show me the jungle in an entirely new way, and I'm supposed to meet him out here in the middle of nowhere. Oh my God! Oh my God, you scared me!
Are you ready?
This is what you meant by an entirely different way. All right, I can do it.
Well,
I'm ready.
Let's see the jungle my way.
Okay, Marcus, when you rode over that hill, it sounded like a tank. What kind of car is this?
We built this car to go deep into the forest, so it's designed to overcome the most difficult obstacles. And here is the first one.
Wait,
Have a look at this.
We're going up there?
We'll be safe. We have Brett with us.
Hi, Brett.
We are in touch with our walkie-talkies, and he will guide me up that hill.
All right, I'm willing to try it. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh, that was crazy. It's like riding a roller coaster, but way scarier. I feel like I'm gonna go back.
Marcus and Brett work as a team. Marcus drives, and Brett, as a spotter, tells him what route to take. I don't know what instructions he was giving Marcus, but there seems to be only one direction: straight up.
We're gonna go upside down.
This really is an amazing machine. It seems like it can go through just about any terrain.
Hey, Mom.
With Brett leading the way, guiding Marcus carefully through the tricky parts of the course, this beast just seems to eat up the obstacles.
Yes!
There's a whole lot more to this than just being able to drive. But it seems to me that Marcus only has one solution when the going gets tough. All ahead full. More power, number one.
That was awesome! So amazing! This is definitely extreme 4x4.
It was great to be out of the bouncing juggernaut and to be able to soak in the view and reflect on the journey so far.
Okay, Jamie, we made it.
I nearly peed my pants coming up here, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, you know, whatever comes up has to go down. So we have to do the same
Oh my God!
trail going down again. So enjoy that.
The ride down started better than the ride up. I was feeling pretty confident and was even beginning to relax a little. Then we hit a bit of a snag.
I have stopped.
A 6-foot hole of a snag. How far is the nearest hospital?
Well, I need to drop in first. I can't drive this with momentum.
We needed to winch, and it was time to get out and help Brett set a sand anchor. The temperatures outside the car must have been close to 40 degrees Celsius, and I was anxious to get the car freed and back into the relative cool of the cab. I felt the whole time like we were gonna get stuck, and now it's actually happened. But it's kind of cool because now I get to see exactly how they get out of situations like this. So what we're doing is we're putting an anchor in, just like a ship. We're anchoring in, and then we're gonna winch ourselves out of this hole. Unfortunately, things didn't go quite according to plan. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. I was just glad I was out of the car when that happened. Well, I couldn't stick around to help get the beast back on its feet. I had a long walk back to the bike, and it was seriously hot. Brett and Marcus would have no problem sorting out that little problem. It's all in a day's work for them, and besides, they probably think that that's great fun. Me and my Harley are still fine, so it's time to saddle up and head south toward Fraser's Hill. It feels good to have smooth road under me again rather than dirt, and I'm hoping that the chilly temperatures of the Colonial Hill Station, where I'm heading next, will be a welcome break from the humid tropical heat. Next week on Ride N Seek, I head for the cooler climbs of Fraser's Hill, check out this awesome old English hotel, and end up bouncing down a hill in a Zorb ball.
And our lives will be the better for it.